Hello, hello, my friends. It's been a while, I feel like, since I've been on live and dancing. So we're going to just dance it in as we get associated this morning. Welcome to the Lionsgate Portal. Gosh, every year this portal comes up and it always surprises me when it gets here because time is just made up and it flippin' flies like crazy. But uh again, I'm just so honored to be here and to be connected with you all. And this live stream actually came about because my dear friends Amy and Nancy Harrington of the Passionistas Project had mentioned during one of my live sessions where I teach the elements of success over on Passionistas TV, I asked if anyone would like an EFT tapping on anything in particular, and abundance came up. And I was like, okay, hear you loud and clear. And I want to really create an experience. And so this particular portal, this 8-8 portal, seemed like the perfect time to do so. So again, hello and welcome. I'm Safriana Luna, the Queer Spirit Guide. Just in case you don't know me, I am a licensed trauma therapist turned transformational mentor, best-selling international author, and speaker. So hi, welcome. Please feel free at any point to say hi in the chat. Of course, there is no pressure, but today I am giving away 2 free 30-minute intuitive readings to random people who comment during this. So if you are here, and I'll say this a couple more times for those tuning in at different points, but if you're here, feel free to comment me anytime during the live to be considered for that reading. So anyway, all you will need is a notebook in case you want to take any notes. I am going to be teaching a little bit about manifesting today. I'm going to be teaching a little bit about clearing our energy. We're going to do EFT tapping. And I think we'll have a little bit of time for some journaling at the end as well. Nice to see you, Amy. I've been told I should look into this mode of healing and I wasn't sure where to start. And then this came up. Great. Yeah, so EFT tapping is the big healing technique we're going to lean into today. So if that's new to you, you'll learn all about it. And yeah, I'm just really excited to dive in. So first and foremost, my guide Draxus said that he would like us to pull a card to work with the themes of abundance here today. So again, you're welcome to share anything that you want in the chat, but oh, what's your relationship with abundance like these days? I think that we live in such an interesting time and space when it comes to our attitudes towards abundance. And I'm going to do what I always do and speak to it. Because I think that we have really become very societally twisted about what abundance really means. So abundance is our natural state versus this scarcity conditioning that society has really brought for us. Okay, this card is the one. Ooh, I love this as I'm talking about this. The card I pulled is transition. And this frequency supports our deep understanding of the ever-changing nature of existence of our lives so that we can learn to let go, surrender to the process, and allow transition to occur with ease and grace. I think this is a great message regarding our abundance, our relationship with abundance, because so many of us are right on the cusp right now. We feel like, this one little thing just works out. I'm going to burst free. I'm going to be so abundant and so resourced that it's going to be wonderful. But then we're stuck in the liminal space and we're focusing on how we're in this liminal space. So allowing the transition to happen is what's really coming up for me. Again, allowing the transition to happen and for our pipeline to abundance to open back up, because society has probably put some constraints on it. So again, there's this attitude that there's not enough to go around and we have to hoard our resources, and that's why we have a billionaire class, which I won't get too started on that right now. And it's not that money is bad. It's not that money is bad at all. And that's another energetic thing many of us are struggling with, especially if you're in my world. You probably have had some attitudes that money is associated with bad or evil or wrongdoing because of greedy billionaires who are really awful right? They're just awful. They have all these resources and abundance that they could give, and they hoard it to themselves and literally watch people in their own companies starve. It's not okay, right? But that's like our programming in society right now. That is what's normalized. So we really need to work on unhooking from this. Okay, comment here. I live in scarcity, literally trying to manifest something big, but it scares me because I have this voice in my head that says, you don't get something for nothing. Ooh, that's I'm coming back to that. That's a big belief in there, right? That we have to give something to get something. What if just being us was enough for abundance? And I really want to challenge the notion that abundance is only financial. That yes, it's the system that we're in today, but it's not, abundance is not just financial. So the more that we open up to realizing we're not scarce in certain ways, the more we can begin to open up in other ways to bring in abundance too. So I just want to speak to the 8-8 really quick. 8-8 is associated with the Lionsgate Portal. I feel like the Lionsgate Portal has become very much a mainstream manifesting. And when I say mainstream, as like a fringe, been practicing paganism and witchcraft and druidry and whatnot for like 20 years now. I've really seen this Lionsgate thing take off, especially in the last 3 to 5 years. But what's cool about that is that the more people we have focused on an event, the more that we have a collective capacity to step into a new energy together. So, the more of us that are focused on abundance for all, that's what I'd love to invite you to focus on, is abundance for all. And that includes you. The more that we have this capacity to focus on abundance for all, the more we can be abundantly resourced, and the more that the collective wakes up to that. There really is something true in the power of being able to mentally attune to an energy and amplify that with other people. It's an exponential effect. We've literally, I know it's considered pseudoscience in some corners, but there have been measurable impacts of small groups of people getting together and focusing on an outcome together, whether that be through prayer or ritual or ceremony or religious service, or and just an experiment where a small group of people have been able to impact a community. So everything is possible for us. It's all possible for us. And we get to tap into this energy of abundance. And the other thing about 8-8, so long story short, one of my certifications and trainings is in something called the star archetype system. And in the star archetype system, the 8-8 portal is associated with what's called the infinite, and it's governed by an archetype called the void walker. And so this is just an interesting piece of information in here because the void walker tunes us into the spirit realm and opens us to our flow, our power, and our infinite capacity to cultivate abundance. So we have like this more mainstream approach of the Lionsgate. And then we also have the infinite portal that opens today and is open for 12 days. That is all about sourcing the karmic principles of cause and effect and really being mirrored in our lives, the cycles of life, death, and rebirth. And it's just all here for us. It's so juicy to work with. So please feel free to just tune into what's coming up for you, what energetically is here for you. So I just want to share before we dive in, my relationship with abundance has been hit or miss my whole life. I grew up in literal poverty. When I say literal poverty, I mean my family could not afford a basic level of care. I routinely skipped meals. I did not have clothes that fit. I did not get to buy school supplies. I didn't get new things. I didn't eat school lunches. But my family also refused to admit that that was the position they were in. So they wouldn't apply for assistance or anything like that. So I know what that side of the spectrum of actual literal lived poverty feels like. I've also built a 6+ figure business in my life and been the first person in my family to go to college. So I've experienced the other side of lifting myself up by whatever means that I could and putting myself out there to create the lifestyle I want. And I've been everywhere in between those two states. Abundance is a state of mind. I can say that. Now, as a child, no. Whatever you went through in your childhood that led to your money issues now, your scarcity, your fear around finances, whatever that is, not your fault. You might still have some trauma to work out there. That's totally normal and okay. I just want to say that. What happened in your childhood, not your fault. And yes, the system is rigged, especially if you are already a person coming from poverty, if you're a person of marginalized status, if you are a person of color, if you are queer. There are all kinds of barriers in your way that I'm not going to spiritually bypass. That is not what Safriana does. But it's the reality that we can begin to build the life that we want from within, regardless of our external circumstances. I'm not going to get too into the weeds, but there are people that have found joy in the darkest of imaginable times. So we can too. We need to believe in our own ability to harness our own joy, cultivate our own joy, and move forward, because that's a huge part about manifestation. So let's talk about manifestation. And if you are just now joining me, if you'd like to be put in the running for that free reading, feel free to drop a me in the chat. So manifestation, my friends, a lot of when I came into law of attraction and learning about the idea of manifestation, something felt off to me. I was like, wait, I just need to align my thoughts and my energy, and the things are going to flow around me. If only that were true. If only our power of belief was all that was needed to make things come true. Now it's really true as well that many times we take a back seat to our highest good and we convince ourselves that nothing good is going to come our way no matter how much we believe we deserve it. There's another part that's tugging away. Mindset stuff is huge. We have to work through it slowly. But manifestation is not just, I just need to think positive thoughts, because it's missing the energy component in that, which is aligning your energy to what you want. It's also missing the aligned actions component. So when I teach manifestation now, I teach that there are the two halves. There's the aligned thoughts and energy, and there's the aligned action taking. It's I remember like this being a thing people would tease about, like the person who's like, "Dear God, I am so ready for a house. Dear God, please send me my perfect home." But then they don't hire a real estate agent or they don't get on Zillow and look for houses. They're just expecting that by praying, by thinking hard enough, by wishing hard enough, that this thing is going to drop in. Like, this stuns me. I don't this is, physical reality. If we were not in our meat suits, if we were just floating energy orbs, we'd probably be able to just think and energetically align and something would manifest, but it still wouldn't be tangible. That is the thing about being here in physical reality. Tangible. So we have to have a tangible component to the manifestation. So you need to take your aligned actions as well as having your aligned energy and thoughts. So let's start busting some of these beliefs. What I'm going to do, and all you have to do, is just receive here. You're going to begin to open your energy to receiving through our time together today as we go into clearing your energy. Then we're going to be doing the EFT and then a little bit of journaling. And hopefully you're really going to be able to sink this in and integrate, even if it's just 1% of a shift. That's potentially 1% more that you're going to be open to your flow and your abundance. So allowing what is here to be. And before we go on to clearing here, as I get my cedar lit up, again, feel free to drop a me in the chat if you would like to be in the running for a reading. So it's not all about thinking just positive thoughts. If you're a spiritual person, that does not mean you shouldn't want money. If you're a spiritual practitioner, it doesn't mean you shouldn't be charging money. These are all limiting beliefs that we might be carrying. Manifestation does not mean forcing outcomes. And we certainly do not have to struggle to be happy. Now, I loved this comment about I have this voice in my head that says, you don't get something for nothing. I'm going to clear that out. Sometimes we do get something just by being who we are, by being here at this point in time. So we're going to just begin to gently clear. I invite you to tune into your breath. And your inhale, you're going to breathe in the energy of abundance. And when you exhale, you're going to let go of scarcity. So you're going to inhale, breathe in abundance. Exhale, let go of scarcity. Clearing our money beliefs here, clearing our abundance beliefs that are blocking that flow. Releasing, releasing, releasing any judgments that we have about having money. Releasing being judged for wanting money. Releasing judgment for having money. Gently letting go of feeling unworthy of wealth. Gently releasing the idea that money and having money is going to change who you are. Oh, releasing, releasing, releasing any fear that you'll lose relationships if you have money. Releasing, releasing, releasing any fear that you can't handle money responsibly. Clearing any energetics, any subtle beliefs that say money is evil or bad. Releasing, releasing, releasing any idea that rich people are automatically bad or greedy. If you have any fears that you having money will take money away from someone else, or that you being resourced will make someone else unresourced, releasing that. You are the kind of person that if you are well resourced, you're going to pass those resources out into the world. Releasing, releasing, releasing. Releasing being seen as materialistic or shallow. Releasing any fear that you can't hold money gracefully. Releasing the holes in your pockets. Releasing the idea that as soon as money comes in, it needs to be spent or it'll be wasted. Releasing any shame that you have around money. Releasing any fears that will disappoint others with our success. Releasing, releasing, releasing. And I invite you, if it feels good to do so, to wiggle the body here, maybe shake out the limbs. Just get any stuck energy out. This is a thing that we miss. We miss the physical movement. We miss those somatic components. We're often so stuck staring at our phones or at our screen that we don't realize how stiff we've become. And money and abundance and energy need fluidity to flow through. So remember to move your body, my friends. Remember to wiggle it out. Remember to shake. Remember to dance, so that these channels of your body can stay loose and clear. I can't emphasize this enough. I know it sounds like totally bonkers, but your body, your ability to move energy through yourself is a huge determining factor on what else can come in. Because if you're stiff and stuck, what can come in? So as we were releasing there, I tuned into a lot of beliefs around money, that having money, having resources is going to lead to some bad. And if that's you, if you're holding that, right, it's going to make it very hard for you to hold on to the energetics of resourcefulness or money, because you're essentially putting a big block up around it. So I invite you to just soften here for a moment. And we're just going to imagine a gentle green cloud, maybe green and gold for the energy of abundance, maybe money and growth and riches and light. We're going to allow this green and gold cloud to sweep through your whole body, head to toe, gathering up any stuck, sticky, or stagnant energy, gathering up any fear, shame, or doubt about money and resources, gathering up any beliefs that say resourcefulness only comes in the form of money. Clearing, 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 releasing, releasing, releasing. Maybe relaxing with the breath, maybe letting your exhale be long and sweet through the mouth. A gentle sigh. So as we continue to clear, you might notice some of these limiting beliefs coming in. You might want to jot them down. Comment, yes, that's me. I have big dreams, but I block abundance like it's wrong. Yes, it's not wrong to be abundant. It's wrong to take advantage of people. Don't get me wrong. It is totally wrong to be a multi-billionaire and to keep hoarding resources and like not give back to people. It is totally wrong to be entirely self-centered and never care about another human being in your life. But that's not who you are. Again, if you're here, you have big dreams to help make the world a better place. And to do that, you need to have resources. And again, resources can come in the form of connection. They can come in the form of human resources. They can come in the form of food, shelter, clothing, money. There's lots of forms of resources out there. So step number one, as we begin this transition, going back to the card that I drew, the transition card, we start this transition by finding one thing to be grateful for. So think for a moment as we move towards our EFT. Think for a moment about what you do have an abundance of. Something positive, ideally, that you do have an abundance of. So, for example, over the years, I have collected many oracle and tarot decks. So I'm looking over my computer at my shelf right now, and I can see, wow, I have an abundance of decks. Like there's a good probably 20 of them there. And yeah, it's taken me 10 years to get here to have all of these, but I have an abundance now. So even having one little thing to be grateful for, wow, I have an abundance of this. I have an abundance of friends. I have an abundance of tarot decks. I have an abundance of notebooks. I have an abundance of insert something here. And you don't have to say this in the chat, but you absolutely can. But what do you have an abundance of? So just tuning into that now, begin to feel into what does that do in your body? To admit, wow, I have an abundance of cards. I have an abundance of decoration. I have an abundance of food. I do have an abundance of food from the garden. We've been freezing so much of it. So find something right here, right now that you can admit, I have an abundance of that. It could be books on your bookshelf. What do you have an abundance of? And what is it like to admit and to know and to own that you have that abundance? This is part of that energetic transition as we move to align and allow more of this energy to come in. So just breathing in that knowing, you're allowed to be abundant. Again, I want to emphasize this so many times today. If you are here, your big dreams are to make the world a better place. And it starts in you, it starts with you. The more money you have, the better, because you are not going to be the billionaire who hoards it. I want to tell a little story here before I go into the EFT tapping, just to kind of illustrate this. When I was first opening my private practice and I was owning my own business, I literally did not did not know what to do with myself. I was like, if I have money, I want to give it away, was basically my attitude. So it's really about recognizing what we want to do with our money too, what we want to do with our abundance and our resources. And I realized if I have enough, I want to give it back to the people who helped me get on my feet and going, which is domestic violence and sexual assault shelters. It was agencies helping survivors of these things. And so when I finally made my first 6-figure year, I was able to donate. I set a goal. I said, for every client that I see this year, I am going to donate $1. And at the end of the year, I was able to donate over $1,000 to a domestic violence shelter because of the work that I put in and because of that goal of, I'm going to do this not just for me, but for the community. I have an abundance of seeds to grow food. Yes, right there with you in the growing our own food. There's such abundance around us. We got to step into this. So let's begin to align. So in case you're not familiar with EFT, all you need is your hands and your body. And there are multiple tapping points. I'm going to walk you through them, trying to decide if my bracelet's going to be too loud here. I think it is. So we start with a karate chop point, which is literally the side of the hand, and we do our setup statements with the side of the hand. We usually do this 3 times, and then we go to the top of the head, inside the eyebrows, outside the eyebrows, or the corners of the eyes, under the eyes, the top of the lip, or under the nose, the chin, or under the lip, the collarbone, which the collarbone, you can kind of tap on the collarbone. You can go under it. I like on the collarbone. And then it's the sides. So let me scoot back just a little bit here. About right here are the side points. So when we do the tapping, we do multiple rounds of the tapping. And the reason that this works is multifold. So you're using your body. You're tangibly using your body. You're feeling your body here and now. You're working with the meridian points in the body, which awaken different energies. And you're, depending on how you do your tapping, you're working with your brain to help filter information through. So when we tap, I like to caveat with this. You can tap on just one side as we go through the points with just one hand, or you can do both, and you can do both at the same time, or you can do bilateral, which is going back and forth. I do back and forth because what the back and forth does is it rapidly turns each hemisphere of the brain on and it gives it attention. So as you're bilaterally stimulating, you're actually opening the whole brain to be able to filter information through and integrate it versus one side being the focus. However, if you're feeling stressed or you're feeling any traumatic responses around money or abundance right now, you might want to stick with just one side because bilateral intensifies things. So choose your own adventure as we go through. But again, the desire here is for us to open, and we're going to continue releasing and opening to a new way of being. So before we even get started, I'd love for you to just in your mind, on a scale of 0 to 10, score yourself. I am open to receiving abundance at a what? I am open to receiving abundance at a 2, at a 7, at a 0? How open to receiving abundance are you? And if you want, I would invite you to just go ahead and write that number down of where you're at right now. So the higher the number, the more you feel open to your own abundance, the more that you accept your abundance. So if you have a really low number, no shame. This is just an observation on where you are now. All right, we're about to begin our EFT. I'm just going to take a sip here. So again, I love EFT. You can use it to do reprogramming around a trauma. You can also use it to anchor in positive things. We've just kind of cleared a bit and brought up some of the money fears and abundance fears. So now we're going to, again, continue releasing and aligning to this new energy. So we're going to start. I'm going to tell my cat, not today. We have the threatening squirt bottle right here because she likes to get up in the middle of these. So we're going to just anchor in, notice your number of how much you're allowing abundance in your life right now, how much you believe you can have abundance. And we're going to start with the karate chop point. So you can repeat out loud after me. That's what makes this most powerful. You can whisper it or you can say it in your head, but saying it out loud makes it anchor into the body even more. So even though I have fears about money and abundance, I deeply and completely love and accept myself. Even though I have fears and doubts about money and abundance, I deeply and completely love and accept myself. Even though I have fears and doubts about money and abundance, I deeply and completely love and accept myself. All right, top of the head. I release old money stories. Inside the eyes, I am safe to want abundance. Outside the eyes, I am open to receiving in new ways. Under the eyes, my desires are valid. Under the nose, my desires are sacred. On the chin, I release the fear of judgment. Collarbone, I trust I am worthy. Keep tapping here for a moment and breathe. I trust I am worthy. To the sides, I'm letting go of what doesn't serve me. Back to the top of the head, I release my old money stories. Inside the eyebrows, I am safe. Outside the eyes, prosperity can flow to me now. Under the eyes, my desires are valid and sacred. Under the nose, I release the fear of judgment. On the chin, I release the fear of losing it all. On the collarbone, abundance flows to me. Abundance flows to me. And the sides, I am worthy. I am worthy. Okay, let's just take a nice big deep breath here. Relax the arms. Sigh it out, maybe wiggle a little bit, and just check in with yourself here on that scale of 0 to 10. How much do you feel like you are ready to receive abundance? And maybe just make a note if that number's changed, gotten bigger or smaller. Yeah, cats just love to be the center of attention, and I love them very much. So just noticing where you're at, we're going to go back in and do some more, but just noticing what's shifting. Notice what energy is in your body now, what emotions are coming up as we did a few rounds of tapping. So we're going to come back to the karate chop. We're going to do a whole new set. And we're going to start with this. Remember, you can repeat after me out loud or in your head. Even though change feels scary, I choose to align with abundance now. Even though change might feel scary, I align with abundance now. Even though change is happening, I align with abundance now. Top of the head. I align with abundance consciousness. Inside the eyes. I am allowing my energy to match my desire. Outside the eyes. I am worthy of abundant flow. Under the eyes. I trust I am supported. Top of the lip or under the nose. Abundance flows to me and through me. On the chin. Again, abundance flows to me and through me. Collarbone. I deserve to receive easily. Breathe that in. I deserve to receive easily. And the sides. I am safe, worthy, and ready. Top of the head. I align with abundance consciousness. Inside the eyebrows. Money and resources flow to me with ease. Corners of the eyes. Everything I want is within my reach. Under the eyes. Everything I desire is for me. Top of the lip. Abundance flows to me and through me. And the chin, I receive with ease. The collarbone, I trust in the universe's support. And as we continue to tap here on the collarbone, you might connect with a higher power, a guide, your higher self. I trust God's support. I trust my support. I trust the universe. Insert here. I trust in support. And then the sides. I am safe, worthy, and ready to receive. Just allowing the arms to relax back down to the sides, taking a nice, slow, deep breath. And let it out gently. And just notice again here, I'm going to ask that question again on a scale of 0 to 10. How aligned with abundance, how ready to receive abundance do you feel? And maybe make a note again if anything's changed. And we're going to do one more round of EFT tapping, and then we're going to do a little bit of what's called optimal EFT. And then we will do a brief journal before we wrap for the day. So just noticing what's here, noticing what's shifted, anything that's moved. And we're going to do, again, one more round. So we're going to start back at our karate chop. Even though I didn't used to think I deserved abundance, I know I'm worthy now. Even though I used to fear abundance, I am open to it now. Even though abundance seems scary, I know it can be in the highest good of all. Top of the head. I am open to receive. Inside the eyebrows. I know my abundance serves all. Outside the eyes. My riches make others rich. Under the eyes. My abundance allows all abundance. Under the nose. I am open to more abundance. On the chin. Abundance for all. Abundance for me. Collarbone. Abundance for all. Abundance for me. Nice deep breath. And the sides. I am safe, worthy, and ready to receive. All right, from here, I'll just invite you, if it feels comfortable to do so, to drop right in. You can close the eyes if that feels all right, or focus softly on a point in front of you. And I'm going to invite you to just be here now, feeling the energy, the emotions, the presence of your body alive in this moment. And in the optimal EFT practice, we work with what's called the unseen therapist. The unseen therapist is an entity, a guide, a higher power, your higher self, or it can just be this figure of the unseen therapist. But this is a person, a being, an entity that holds unconditional love for you. So feeling the unseen therapist there with you, maybe putting a hand on your shoulder, feeling the energy of unconditional love for you here in this moment. And hear these words from this helper, this guide, speaking directly to your heart. Beloved, your resourcedness is a gift that keeps on giving. You are so worthy of abundance, an abundance of love, an abundance of security, of friendship, of joy, play, and pleasure. You are worthy beyond your wildest imaginings, dear beloved. So incredibly worthy. I'm so sorry for all of the people, all of the authority, all of the societal stories that have told you that you're unworthy, that you're not enough. They're lies. They are untrue. Seeing here just a bright, beautiful energy surrounding you, just noticing what color comes in as the unseen therapist supports you completely here on a subtle energetic level. And listening as she continues, hearing these words received in your heart. Beloved, when you are resourced, I know the goodness will flow through you double fold. You will feel open, your capacity limitless to outpour love, light, affirmation into the world. Your resourcefulness allows you to stand confidently and know that you can offer without having to be in scarcity or survival. Release scarcity and survival now. Release it. Let it go. You are abundantly supported. Look around. See that you are here now, that you are connected across time and space with people all across the globe. Is that not a miracle? Is it not a miracle that you are here, that you are surviving, that you are breathing, that you are being, that you are loving, that you are taking care of yourself? Feel the abundance in that. Feel the abundance of love that is here for you now, beloved being. And yes, humaning can be hard. So, where can you be soft? Where can you open? Where can you be supple and allow the abundance to flow to and through you? This is your birthright, beloved. This is your birthright. Receive, allow, allow more receiving, receive more abundance and overflow in gratitude and life and love. This is your birthright. This is what's here for you. Breathe it in. Noticing whatever swirling within you, noticing the colors, noticing what it's like to receive that energy of unconditional love. Feel it, know it. Know with every fiber of your being that the more resources you have, the more you will have a positive impact in the world, the more you will sway the tides. The more that you stand knowing you are worthy of riches, worthy of abundance beyond your wildest imaginings, worthy of the lifestyle that is right for you, not tied in to societal metrics, not tied in to needing the fancy sports car or the giant mansion, not tied in to any one definition of what abundance and wealth and resource looks like. It might be the wealth of a garden that keeps on giving. It might be the wealth of a community that continues to grow and fuel everyone inside the community. It might be the resourcedness of knowledge, of a system, of something yet undiscovered that changes everything. Abundance does not just come in the form of money, it comes in the form of all kinds of gifts. See yourself energetically standing with your arms open wide, your palms lifted up to the heavens, and feel the flow of abundant energy coming down to you now, fueling you, filling you up with light, even as the unseen therapist stands supporting you, hands out reaching, giving you energy. Receiving, 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 allowing, allowing, allowing. Allow this abundance to come to you. Allow it to be easy. Allow it to be fun. Allow it to flow and not look just one certain way. And perhaps bringing hands to heart center here, sealing that energy in. Pressing that abundance into your heart space, receiving with gratitude. Thank you, thank you, thank you for all of the abundant blessings coming my way. Thank you, thank you, thank you, Spirit, for all that is mine. Thank you, thank you. And with one last spectacular wash of light from head to toe, feel this sealed into you, knowing you are meant to be abundant. You are already abundant. That is your natural state. And now, in the transitions and the spaces between, you shift that abundance to more and more of what you want and less of what you don't. It is possible, my friends. I see you and I believe in you. Gently dropping the hands back down to the lap. Breathing it in. Sighing it out. And then releasing this practice, releasing the unseen therapist with gratitude. Wiggling the fingers and toes. And if the eyes are still closed, gently blinking them open. And taking some moments to look around the space. Love to give a little stretch here. And I love to do my no tiger twist. So the no tiger twist is just looking down to the right, up to the right, sweeping over to look at the left, up and down and around, and twisting to look behind us so that the nervous system knows we're here and we're safe. And that's huge, my friends. It's very hard to allow abundance to flow if we're feeling stuck or scared. So please use these resources. Do the twist, use tapping, breathe, clear your energy. There's so many beautiful things that you can do to help support yourself. So as we wind down our time today, first of all, check in now after that meditation, that optimal EFT. How are you feeling on that scale of 0 to 10 when it comes to receiving abundance? I'm at like a 9.5 out of 10. I feel pretty great about that. And just notice what's left. Notice if there's anything that's still stuck. If there's anything stagnant, that there's anything blocking you from getting up to like a 9, 8. If there is a big gap, just make a mental note. That's something that you get to come back and work on. That's something that you get to continue to clear. No right or wrong, no good or bad. We're all human. We're always working through something. There's no time in life where we are without the shadow. So I'm just going to pop up some journaling prompts here. Money flows to me through, I feel most aligned when, and I'm ready to receive what? And I'd encourage you could answer all 3 of these really quickly in your notebook if you wanted to. You can think about them. You can brainstorm about them. But go ahead and jot these down if you'd like, because these are, the first things that come to mind with money flows to me through might be your hint of your next money-making escapade. The alignment piece could be a clue as to what you need to do to keep your energy aligned with that highest good, that vision that you have. Again, the energy and the thoughts that then allow you to take those aligned actions. So how do you know when you're already most aligned? And when it comes to I'm ready to receive, it might just be more money, right? But it might also be something tangible like more clients, more sales, more hours, more whatever. I'm ready to receive more friendships. I'm ready to receive more donations. Just tuning in there. What are you ready to receive more of now that you have cleared some of this energy? So as you're jotting that down, again, I just want to share a little bit of information here. One, if you would like to follow along with me for all kinds of free content, written content, talking about all manners of things, please feel free to go over to my Substack. That is the best place to follow me right now. That's where I'm putting out most of my content. Or of course, wherever you're watching this video right now. If you're on YouTube, this is the place where I stream all things. So please feel free to follow along. But again, safriana.substack.com is where you can go follow me there. And if you are needing support or you want to explore how we can work together, you are more than welcome to go schedule a 15-minute consult at tidycal.com/Safriana. And then it's 15-min- proof or prof. And that link is right there under my video. And basically, I'm here to support you, whatever that looks like, whatever you need. I do my monthly moon calls, which you can go sign up for to get those notifications as well, because I'm here to support us all in this spiritual expansion and growth. If you want to get in touch with me personally, guide@safriana.com is the best way. That goes directly to my inbox, and that is where I'm most responsive. So just wanted to toss that out there as we are wrapping up. And again, money flows to you, through you. It is yours to receive. That's the current system. But remember, there's an abundance of human resources, the possibility for exchange, the possibility for other forms of resource. We do not have to be limited in one single way. We do not have to shut ourselves down from our ability to receive. And oh my gosh, the scarcity and the blockages, they're all here because of man-made programs. They're all here because something outside of us said we weren't worthy of that. We get to clear that. And how great that we get to say, that's not mine. I picked that up in childhood, but I'm an adult now and I don't need to carry that with me anymore. So I'm going to actively work to crack this open. So EFT tapping is a great way to work with that. You again can tap on a negative feeling. You can tap on something that's really bothering you. And instead of making your score increase from 0 to 10, ideally, you want your score to come down from like, I'm feeling stress at a 7 to, oh, I'm feeling stress at a 1. So that's kind of how it works in reverse. So I hope that you learned something valuable here today. I will be reaching out to the winners of the 30-minute drawing, intuitive readings in our drawing. And otherwise, thank you for being here, for showing up for yourself. Again, I know every single one of you that's watching this is somebody who wants abundance for all. You want a better world for all. And just like I was able to donate to that domestic violence sexual assault shelter because that was my passion, and I was like, if I'm abundantly resourced, I get to resource them back. And that was the first year I had 6-figure success because it went beyond me. I knew what I wanted to do with my resources. If I was fully resourced, then I knew it meant I could start to resource others as well. And that's the gift that keeps on giving, is this mutual aid and this ripple effect out into the world. So you are beyond worthy of abundant success and financial stability and shelter and safety and all of that. Know it, feel it, be it in the world, and you can continue to shine that example out. So again, thank you so much for being here with me. I love you all so very much, and I am cheering you on in all of this. Okay? Here if you need me, you know where to reach me. All right, until next time, my friends, I'm Safriana Luna. Bye for now.